Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Aesthetic Challenge, a mini series where we are trying to build out of our comfort zone. I feel like I very much have a specific style that I gravitate towards and use pretty regularly. So this challenge is to try to make myself build in styles that I don't usually gravitate towards. Just a small little disclaimer that these can be interpreted differently, and I am mainly using Pinterest as my source of inspiration. But with that out of the way, let's hop into the wheel spin. So this is our wheel, and these are the things that we can potentially roll. We are gonna spin. Last time we did a contemporary modern home, so I'll link that in the top in case you want to watch that attempt. But today we are gonna spin and get, I guess let's find out. I'm kind of hoping for something easy. Ooh, Japandi. I actually love this style. This is kind of a combination between Japanese and Scandinavian styles of architecture. For this particular style, think like earthy tones, creams, greens, browns, paneling, textures, lots of plants I feel like are pretty regularly in the mix. I hate to say it, but this one might be really up my alley. I think this picture right here in particular is a really good example of what Japandi looks like. We're looking for nice textures, interesting shapes, and just generally speaking, like a calm, cozy vibes. I feel like for this one, we have to go to the world of Mount Komorebi. And Japandi is not really a traditional Japanese style. It would probably be more like these down here, a little bit more of a modern take. So I'm thinking we're gonna steal this 20 by 15 lot in this modern area and build our house there. I did a little search for Japandi exterior, and I'm actually kind of loving something like this. I'm thinking we're gonna go with something like this for the general exterior shape. I just haven't quite figured out some details yet, like how exactly I want the back to look, because it's feeling a little flat. But now we need to figure out some windows. And with our inspiration photo, I love this like asymmetrical angled window. I just don't know if we can pull it off in the Sims. I was thinking we had some like that, but these are just pointed. So maybe we don't. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just have to let that dream die, but we can go with some nice big creamy open windows. I actually think the growing together ones are a good option. I just don't know if they're light enough, but maybe a little bit of charcoal on the outside could be a good thing. I actually think this door from Eco Lifestyle would be perfect. Maybe even this door from Dream Home Decorator for the upstairs, because it does kind of have some more like Japandi elements on it. Maybe we can get our little pointy roof bit here on the top. We can do like a big window thing on the side here. And then I did swap the door out back here. I just don't know if I can continue with these massive windows or if it's like about to start looking kind of funky. That's looking quite nice. For the roof texture, I do want to come in with like a charcoal snowy escape. Honestly, maybe even a little bit darker is better. And the businesses and hobbies trim actually works perfectly. To be a little more true to our photo, I think we're going to stick with this stucco pretty much everywhere. I'm using this one from Spa Day. And I know I used them in the last build, but we are coming back in with these again instead of having a wall here to hold this up structurally. It just kind of ties in that more modern Japandi style that we're looking for. And then let's add in just a touch of snowy escape by using the foundation from that pack. And here's what we're looking like landscaped out. So now let's move into the interior of this house. First things first, we gotta figure out a way to get up the stairs. Okay, that took a second, but we do have a layout now. So on the bottom floor, you're gonna walk in and then there's gonna be a bathroom right off the entrance. And then here, we're gonna have a living room on this side and then kitchen on this side and dining over here. And then upstairs, we're gonna have a 2-bed, 1-bath area with like a little office landing here at the top. So now that we have a plan, let's get to furnishing. I think for our little fireplace, we're gonna put the snowy escape tile all around it. I think this is really nice. And then over in our kitchen zone, we'll go with the same tile. My biggest issue with this kitchen is where do I put the fridge? I think this is the design that we're kind of going for as far as color scheme goes. So we're gonna go with like a nice wooden cabinet with some white appliances. And then we're gonna wanna put lots of plants everywhere. But that does still leave me in the pickle of where does the fridge go. I actually think the Smeg looking appliances is perfect here. Ooh, maybe Dream Home Decorator cabinets. I don't particularly mind blocking this window with cabinets. I don't think it looks too bad from the outside. I'm sorry if it bothers you, but I almost feel like it's necessary. Otherwise, this is gonna end up being a very tiny, tiny kitchen. But I am feeling like so far it's embodying what I'm looking for. Honestly, maybe we delete this window altogether because I would love a stove with a hood vent. And we could always put some cute little greenery or some trellises or something out here. I think that works well, actually. I am gonna grab the repaired versions of these from the Restoration Workshop because they are kind of like the Smeg style, which is what our fridge and stove are. I think they're quite cute. We're gonna keep it very light and bright. We also added in some curtains. And as far as clutter goes, I just don't feel like these Sims would have much. I feel like a lot of this style is meant to be very bright and clean. Now, one thing I do feel like we need a lot of is plants. So I might clutter up this little shelf with plants. I like to think maybe it's watering day, so we'll add those. And then maybe like a nice fruit bowl or something for over here. Oh, even this item here with the fruit and the picture on it, I kind of feel like it's the right vibe. Sneaking in a textured basket, some of the cute little wall aprons over here. And I feel like this little corner is just begging for this really big hanging plant. Moving on to dining, I was originally thinking it would go more right here, but now I'm kind of considering putting it more in this little nook. I think I have to take a little bit more space over here. What I'm gonna do is get these Dream Home Decorator cabinets, and then we'll just put another shelf. So maybe this is like more pantry and clutter space. Although these look the exact same, so maybe we need to find something to cover up at least one of the things. How about we slip this plant in there and then all of a sudden they don't feel as duplicated. I am realizing as we're doing this and I'm selecting a lot of the items I used for the first contemporary house that this is kind of similar to a contemporary modern. I feel like the biggest difference with this style is the textures and more of like the wood tone and light and brightness and like a plant focus, but they're really not all that different. Maybe I'm misinterpreting though, who knows? For the kitchen, I'm gonna add in this hanging shelf above the island. I think that's really cute. And I kind of want more of like a charcoal like that, just to bring in a little bit more darkness over there in that corner. And now that is the kitchen done. This is a massive kitchen, but I think it's beautiful. As far as the dining room goes, we can obviously keep it pretty neutral, but I feel like we have to add in some textures. I also think you regularly see dining rooms incorporating like these big wicker lights like this one does, or even having some darker black accents like here. I don't know if we're gonna be having those accents, but I know we're gonna make sure to have at least a wicker light and to add in some wicker chairs maybe. I kind of like the one from Businesses and Hobbies. Obviously, it matches the floor a little too well, but we will get a rug. And as far as chairs go, let's see what our choices are. Ooh, wait, that might be perfect. I think that that is exactly what we're looking for. So we don't need to look any further. For the rug in here, I do want to go with the Snowy Escape one. And what we're going to do is size it up and place two of them together. It's one of my favorite ways to use this rug. And it looks so cute and just cozy and fancy. Now, as far as the light goes, we've got some options. I really would love like one big wicker bulb, but I don't think we have anything of the sort. We actually have this paper lantern, which is kind of in style now and not totally not the vibe, but I think I would prefer something a little bit more textured than that. But I think that that could work. Honestly, these from the Desert Lux might be perfect. And that does bring in a little bit of darkness with the beams that they have here. As far as the table is concerned, we will be using a plant. And I know we just used these in the last build that we did, but I honestly feel like they maybe even suit this build a little bit better than they did the first one. And now for our living room space, I would love a frame TV. I feel like I wish we had more frame TVs, I guess, because none of these are really the right color scheme. I will say I think the frame on this one is probably best. Maybe we'll do this one with the black frame. I think this picture's okay, but I would pick something else. Now, as far as the living room goes, once again, we're gonna want some like wicker touches, I think. I think we're gonna want the cream couch. So let's look at Snowy Escape for just a bit. I do think this couch is perfect. We just need the lighter, brighter tone like this one. Maybe this shelf can be the one that goes behind it. That's kind of a cute vibe. I think that coupled with some plants and whatnot is gonna be really cute. Oh, we wanna use this outside probably. Now, here's the issue. We can center it with the TV, but it won't be centered with the stairs. Let's get our other wood textures that we know we're gonna want, like this. I think we'll probably use the side table, at least on this side, because we need to leave a little room for the entrance. And as far as the rug goes, my gut reaction is the one from Comfy Gamer, because I feel like that texture is perfect for what we're looking for. What if I just scoot my dining room down a smidge? Because I want this to be bigger. That's actually beautiful. Exactly what I was wanting. I even like the idea of maybe using some of the Comfy Gamer poofs. We could add in these. I feel like the green and blue are okay colors to mix in. They're very zen, which I think is the vibes. And I really, really want this chair that has the blanket over the top of it. We could even put this ottoman right next to it, like as a side table, but also as an extra place for your Sims to sit. We can go with like the kind of fuzzy textured one. I think that looks super cozy. And you might think me silly, but I love the idea of including a tea tray here on this table. How about for the living room? Let's come in with this paper lantern. I'm gonna use T.O.O.L Mod to size it up. If you've ever seen someone use T.O.O.L Mod, you don't actually need it. It just helps me have a little more freedom to make things the right sizes in the game. But we've added in a few plants. I definitely need at least a couple of more. The more the merrier for this one, I feel. But now we've got what I feel is a decent amount of plants, and I think that is going to be our living room space all done. I need to leave this area open for Sims to get in and out, so I actually think maybe other than an art piece here, we're going to leave this space alone. Maybe an art piece and a plant. How many plants is too many plants? Somebody please let me know. This one, ooh, okay, let's actually use T.O.O.L Mod on this one, because I feel like maybe it just needs to be a smidge smaller than it usually is. Like that size is perfect, and honestly that's very much the vibes. And then we'll leave this open for Sims to get outside. This is our primary bedroom that has access to the balcony. I feel like what Japandi bedrooms are usually characterized by are these really cozy, fluffy beds. Even this is a really good example, and the unfortunate truth is we cannot get this in The Sims. Another thing though that I'm noticing is that they have like kind of specialized headboard areas, and maybe we could try to mimic that. Now the only tricky part is I have windows everywhere. We could once again get rid of this window and keep our ivy growing up. I wouldn't mind that. I think the ivy looks quite nice. We'll pull in our vertical beams from Eco. I'm gonna do the thing that we did on the last contemporary house, and that is to hold the Alt key and place these again in between, just because I want them to be closer together than they are. We can also use this from the new sleek bathroom kit to kind of separate that off a bit. They don't really have the color that I'm looking for, but maybe for this room, let's incorporate this like cozy sage green color. As far as the bed goes, I do think this one would work, but since I want to have more of a custom headboard moment, I don't think that one's gonna fit well. What I do think would work and feels like the fluffiest, coziest bed we have is the one from Seasons, I believe. This one. Okay, this is actually perfect. Not that color, but maybe if we just went with like all white. Oh, they have like the exact match. Now, is that too on the nose though? Maybe if we did the all white and then I'll add in some extra pillows. Now they don't really have the right color, of course. So if we want to do green, it's gonna be an ugly green. So maybe just like a creamy color is fine. But see, then that's boring. Maybe what we do is go green pillows on here and then don't go green on here. We could even come in with this like peachy tone. I don't think that's bad. Oh, or honestly, even kind of come back in with that slate color we've been using in a few other places. And it has like a bit of a green blue undertone, so we'll add in like a blue colored pillow. Okay, I like that. We've got two dark blues and a light blue, and that kind of ties it in. It's a little pillow heavy. It's not perfect, but to get the vibe across, it is what has to be done. I'd actually really love to stick with that kind of blue tone on the rest of the walls. As far as dressers go, I feel like Snowy Escape is almost a must-have. I feel like a nice cozy mirror over here would be good. I don't necessarily feel like this one is the style, but what I want is like a mirror so I can then put another plant next to it, both on the wall and on the ground. I think for rugs, we're gonna go with this blue fluffy rug like that. And we'll keep the decorations simple over here. We'll have candles and book, which certainly won't catch fire, and then a little lamp on this side. And I think that is gonna be the primary bedroom all done. For the outdoor patio, I added a chess table with the same chairs that we used in the dining room. And then I included these plants that I knew I wanted to add in, and then put a couple of little planter boxes so you can actually plant some plants here. But let's move on to the next room. I think we might do a kid's bedroom. Oh, a kid's bedroom could actually be kind of cute, I think. So why don't we try to do something kind of like that? I almost want to emulate something sort of like this vibe. Obviously, Sims limitations. I'm actually wondering the logistics of doing more of a toddler room space, because this is exactly the right energy. This one does have some green on the wall, so we can do that. This is honestly kind of perfect. I think what we'll do for this wall is put 3 of these together to make it look like it's one long thing. Now we need to toe the line between what a kid actually needs to have in their bedroom and still fitting with the theme that we've set for ourselves. Since we're going more toddler vibes, I think what we'll do is put in a diaper changing station, and then we can get this cute little potty. I've got a little book place over here. Ooh, honestly, maybe potty goes over here because I would like a stuffy or something, I think. I feel like a white cat might be the way to go. I'm gonna bring back in the wooden floors in here just because I think it would be cuter, and then we can add in a little fluffy rug. Oh, and then how about a little shelf like this? Something about this feels both toddler essence and also the Japandi style. And then we can couple it with this shelf to kind of give it more of the aesthetic of the picture that we looked at together. And this is gonna be our little toddler room all done. I think it turned out really cute. I do feel like maybe we need a few more toys here and there, but we have this big space, which is gonna be like our landing / office space. And I figure maybe we can add a thing or two in this zone. I love the snowy escape desk. I say let's center it here within the window. And I also really like the cozy snowy escape chair. We can add a little ottoman for some extra seating. I'm thinking for our dollhouse, we can get this one. It's a little bit more natural wood, and I kind of like that. And I also did want to get the snowy escape crafting table, so we can put that here. It'll be like a little mini office for the baby and a main office for the grown-up, and I think that's adorable. I love this creamy color dual monitor setup from the Comfy Gamer kit. We definitely need a different light up here. Honestly, I might need to go back to the other rooms and update lights because I always forget about changing my lights out. How about for our baby room, we go with this cute one from Eco Lifestyle? I feel like I'm out of wicker lights. Nothing else is really the right aesthetic. And I guess we could just reuse the same lights, but that's not really what I was hoping to do. Oh, ooh, or what if we went back to like the paper light vibe? We could get the ones from Dream Home Decorator. Like these ones in like the brown. That's cute. That's kind of a fun touch, I think. We could do the wicker fish for the office. That's kind of adorable. For an art piece right here, we could go with this. I don't know how Japandi I feel it is, but I do feel like it's on the right color wave, so maybe that's cute there. I had mentioned using a laundry day rug in the nursery, but ended up not, so maybe we'll use it out here instead. It's kind of a lot though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate it, but I'm not obsessed with it. Maybe we just need a different version. Like maybe this one would be a little bit easier. Or maybe I just need it under the main desk and not everywhere. I like that better. We need a cute little candle on our table. We need more plants. Not that I think anyone's gonna be surprised by that. Oh, the olive tree. I can't believe I haven't used that yet. That's so cute. We need some more art over here. I don't know. I feel like I'm running out of art that fits the style that I'm looking for. What I'm gonna do is grab this art off the gallery. This is the Neutral Art No CC by Lolo Poppy if you're looking for it. If you ever wanna do this, you just place it down as a room and you can place it anywhere on your lot. And then after that, you can take it and grab the items and drag them where you want them to go. So we can make our own little custom mini gallery here on the stairs. I think you can change frame colors in live mode, but I actually really like the black frames on these, so I'm gonna be leaving them. We also have some spaces in between these doors, so I'm gonna put those propagating plants in one of them, and then maybe let's grab this one for the other. I've just decided that this is a plant sim. They love their plants, so I think that's perfect there. And then I think this is our landing all done. I think it's so cute. Okay, so now as far as the inside goes, we only have the 2 bathrooms left. As far as the bathroom designs go, it's a lot more of the same. Light tiles, maybe pretty marbles is better. I think we're gonna lean on spade. I love like this little wavy mirror here, but I feel like this is definitely the energy. The little tile here in the bathroom is so cute. Okay, so that's what we're gonna kind of do. Sleek bathroom actually has a wavy mirror that looks much more elevated, so we are gonna use that one instead. I really need a bathtub, so what we're actually gonna do is make this a wet room area, so we'll have the shower and the tub in here. I think we'll come in with a spade tub just to keep it very one tone. I feel like that's very much the vibes. And that's gonna be our very first bathroom all done. It's so cute and zen. I love it. It's a little boring maybe, but I do feel like we stayed true to the style. And this is the top floor bathroom all done as well. So that's the main interior of the house. Now we just kind of need to think a little bit about what we want the outside to look like. I don't mind leaving it a little bit more in its natural habitat, but maybe let's add in some planter boxes. And I'm thinking maybe a little meditation corner could be a cute thing. And this is the backyard all done. So we just have a little picnic area. I put some more of the plants and some planter boxes here. And then if you follow the stepping stones, we've got a little meditation corner surrounded by all the pretty little bamboo. And then I just finished landscaping everything and adding the terrain paint. And with that, I think that is our Japandi style house all done. I've got that on the gallery for you in case you're interested in downloading it. It's called Japandi style home, and I do use hashtag PlumeriaPlay to give you an easier time finding it. If you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments how you think I did with this build style. I think it went pretty well. I'd say it was a little bit easier for me than the modern house, but there was a lot more crossover than I realized between Japandi and contemporary modern, but I feel like they feel different enough to still be true to the style that we were going for. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have the best rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!